Welcome back, my dear students. So, in the previous lecture, uh, we discussed about the author of this chapter, namely the dream catcher. You might be pretty well aware that the author of this the dream catcher story is none other than Roald Dahl. Okay, Roald Dahl is the writer of the story. So about Roald Dahl, we read that he was a very good writer for the very good writer who wrote the children's stories, and he was also called as a chocolate historian. Okay, he was called as a chocolate historian. So he was very fond of chocolates. And about naming him as a chocolate historian, there is a reason why he has been called as chocolate historian, because uh, he wrote a story in which he dedicated a he wrote a storybook, rather a storybook he wrote, in which he dedicated a full chapter he wrote a full chapter about the chocolates. Okay, so after every meal, Roald Dahl used to eat the chocolates, and not only eat himself, but also he used to offer the chocolates to his family members and to his friends as well, right? Okay, so this story, this chapter, the dream catcher, it's about about a giant. Okay, it is about a giant who is called as here as a BFG. Okay, rather, if I call it, is a big friendly giant. Okay, so this story revolves around this giant and a small girl, Sophie. I'll tell you who is she. This giant, what this giant does, he captures the dreams. Okay, he captures the dreams, and during night blows those dreams in the ears of the children so that children could sleep nicely. Okay, so one day this BFG, he met a girl, namely Sophie. Okay, I tell you that this girl Sophie, she's an orphan. Her parents are dead, and one day when she was stuck at a place, okay, seven fearful giants tried to attack this little poor girl Sophie, but this BFG, he saved Sophie against all those seven fearful giants. Okay, so what happens one day? This big friendly giant, one day he had a suitcase with him and put his suitcase down on the ground. Okay, and out of the suitcase, okay, he brought out some of the empty jars. Okay, now with those jars, what he did, those jars had already their lids above them, and with his screw he removed these lids. Okay, now there were four or five jars of whose lids he removed. Okay, after that he called the girl Sophie, little girl Sophie, and told her to hold these jars with her. Okay, then an interesting thing happens. This BFG, he carries a net with him, but this is not an ordinary net. This is a magical net. Okay, this is a magical net with which, when he swirls it, when he swirls, SWIRL, swirls the net. Swirl means ऐसे चक्कर लगाना, तेज 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 तेज. ओके, तेज तेज घूमना. When he swirls the net, ये इस नेट को ऐसे ऐसे घुमाता है, तेज तेज, but in the circular direction. Okay, he catches the dreams in this net, where he catches the dreams in this net. Now, here, when he had put the suitcase on the ground and swirls the net, he calls Sophie and tells to bring him a jar. So immediately, without wasting the time, Sophie brings him a jar, and he puts this dream that he had caught in his net by swirling it inside the jar. Okay, inside the jar. Then he immediately puts the lid above it. Okay, so he does this, and once he comes across a dream, and says to the little girl, "Girl, Sophie, do you know what is it?" Sophie says, "I know it's a dream," but he says, "No, this time it is not an ordinary dream, but this is a," what he says, BFG, he says that this is not an ordinary dream, this is a golden dream. Okay, at another time he captures a, a dream that's horrifying, or I can say nightmare. Okay, so this time he says, Sophie, oh, little Sophie, do you know what is it? So she again says it's a dream, it's an ordinary dream. He says, no, it's an ordinary dream, it's a nightmare. Okay, may this nightmare save all the children. Okay, I don't wish that this nightmare should be blowed in the ears of the children, otherwise they will get frightened during their sleep, they will get frightened during their dream. Okay, I would wish never to open the lid of this very jar in which I have captured this nightmare. Okay, so I again tell you that only those dreams that were good, okay, he captured them, and all those dreams were floated by this BFG in the ears of the little children so that they could sleep well.